Okay, well the box just came for Philips Hue, and I will not have time to unbox this or set it up yet because I have to go to work now, to pay for the Philips Hue. But I will quickly open the box and just see what is inside. This should be everything except the bloom, which will come relatively soon. If we just look in the box, I have the 4 A19s here. Right here, I believe this is the starter kit. Yeah, that's the starter kit, which you can see there. And then this is the iris. So go ahead and just put this packing material back on. Now I will get ready for work, and it is currently 2:34 p.m. and I'll be back sometime after 10. Okay, so it is now shortly after 10 o'clock. We're going to go into the box. So of course we have the shipping materials, Philips Hue starter kit, 4 A19s, iris, okay, so we're of course going to start with the starter kit. You can see what it says on the box. 8.5 watts is equal to 600 lumens, 3 8.5 watt bulbs, and of course the 3 watt 2.4 gigahertz hub. So we'll go ahead and cut into this. Okay, so here it says Hue. Right, so inside of here we just have a little sheet that just kind of talks about Hue. Just like a little instructional thing. Shows you to screw in the bulbs, plug in the Hue and connect it to your router, and download the app and follow the instructions. So that seems simple enough. And here we have the cables for the hub. So you can go ahead and open this. Put this off to the side. We have the power brick and an Ethernet cable to connect the hub to the router. Here we have the hub itself. You can go ahead and remove this from the box. This is the hub with the one button on it, the Ethernet port on the back, and the power jack. That will go in the other room next to the router. Here we have 3 A19s, which I guess you just remove like this. You can see compared to my hand, and then compared to the iPhone 5S. We'll just go ahead and set these back in the box gently, of course, until I get all these open. Come with a little sheet of paper. Just shows you how to presumably connect it. Of course, I will get all these installed before I do any of that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and take the other 3 out of the box, and I can go ahead and install the bulbs. So I will just carry this with me. Remove the CFLs. Okay, so the A19s all appear to be running, which is definitely good. Have to re-aim this lamp though. They are pretty bright. We can go ahead and remove this one. Now we have one more. And of course, like I said in my last video, this is a temporary place for this. And this lamp will be moving somewhere else. Alright, now we'll go ahead and get the iris out and set that up. Alright, so here is the iris. I'll go ahead and open that up. This was, of course, the one thing I was really going back and forth about buying, but I think it'll end up that I made the right decision. So the entire thing lifts out of the box. This, of course, fell out, which is the Friends of Hue manual. It just shows what's in the box and how to set it up. So plug it in, start the app, and yeah. But the iris itself is, of course, the main point of this. This is definitely a little bit of a confusing bit of packaging, but I'm sure that would be my only complaint. Here, of course, we have the iris itself, which looks very nice upon first inspection. To the Philips logo in the light. Alright, so here we go in the office. I'm about to set up the Philips Hue hub. Just have the power cable here. Get that undone. And the Ethernet cable. Here we can see what it is plugged in to this third one right here. The lights have come on, and it is, of course, UPS protected, which is totally useless, but might as well protect it. Okay, so the next step, of course, is to install the Philips Hue app. So go ahead into the App Store and download this. Kind of interesting that it is the third app. Okay, so the app has just finished downloading, so we'll go ahead and open it. Slide to start. Hue. I have to go all the way to the room. Push the button. They've just pushed the button. Apparently something happened. It looks like Floyd wants to see. Looking at the phone through the viewfinder really does not make things easier. But I can control only these three. So now I'm going to go ahead. See, I turn those three off, the other ones all stay on. Go into settings, my lights, connect new lights. I guess we can do an auto search. So it should have 7 lights total. Let's see if I can just go back first of all and turn my lights back on. It looks like it got everything for the most part. Yep, definitely got everything. Hey guys, what is Macintosh here? It is currently 2:45 of the next day, and now I am going to go ahead and unbox what came today very quickly because I have to go to work. So this should be the Hue tap switch in what may be one of the world's weirdest, most inconvenient boxes. So yes, here we have the Hue tap switch, which I will install sometime after 10 o'clock tonight. And this should be the bloom, which will go on top of the bookshelf. That's how you safely do it. Alright, so here we have the bloom. These are the final two parts of my current Hue setup for later. Once again, it is currently 2:47 of the day after the original Hue installation. So now I am going to go ahead and go to work. Alright, so it is now later, shortly after 10 like I said, and everything is exactly where it was. So now I can go ahead and resume the unboxing. So right here on top we have this, which appears to be basically a starter guide. We have this, which is safety instructions and information. We have this box, which of course here has the bloom, which is much smaller than I thought, but that is alright. Go ahead and put this down until we can untangle the cables. The rest of the box is empty except for the typical Hue manual. Of course, this is Friends of Hue, like the iris. Take the bloom out. Alright, so basically the same power brick and cable as the iris. We can go ahead and remove the twisty. Go ahead and do that. So of course, here is the bloom itself compared to the iPhone 5. So you can see it is not a large device, and of course on the light, just like the iris, it does say Philips. We'll go ahead and set this up. So this is the Hue tap, which is of course just a remote that controls your Hue lights and everything else controlled by your Philips Hue hub. Of course, this allows you to not use your smartphone, which is convenient since you don't want everybody to have to touch your smartphone. So we open it, and at the top we have this big wad of documentation. Of course, we have a manual that says Hue tap, which appears to be how to use and the limited warranty and that type of information. And here it's a very large pamphlet, I think, on how to set it up. This looks more confusing than it probably needs to be because I only need English, which is right here. So it should be pretty simple. And of course the unique thing about Hue tap is that it works without batteries. Right? So go ahead and remove this. Hue tap comes right out. It demonstrates here that by pushing the buttons, the click is actually what makes the energy. So as you can tell, it is a pretty substantial click. Go ahead and remove the front cover and feel it. It definitely feels pretty premium. And here are the. So I know that the lighting here is not necessarily the best because I don't normally record a light switch. But as you can see, the instructions to mount it to the wall are pretty simple. It looks like you just pull these things off and attach it to the wall. So I'm currently peeling off these strips. So go ahead and just put it right here. Okay, so there we go. The Hue tap is installed. You can see, of course, the cable does come from the front, and it is made out of porcelain, and the back is plastic. So it is a very quality product, and it does shine on the wall and the ceiling like I intended it to. Go ahead and bring it back a little bit though, just to get a little bit more on the ceiling. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get. Okay, so now that the bloom is in fact working, we're going to go ahead and set up the device itself along with the Hue tap with the app. We're going to go into settings, find lights, do an auto search. There we go, living colors too, and go ahead and push that. Of course it does blink to indicate that it has been found. I would rename it to Bloom. Of course, it's right down there next to the iris, where I have it. Now I assume with devices it will find the Hue tap, which may require pushing the button. And I did end up putting the bloom facing the other direction to like fully get the ceiling. Right now I'm going through a color loop on Hue bulb, which of course is very convenient and allows you to control all of the Philips Hue lights through the Pebble smartwatch, which I will probably do a video on later. But as you can see right now, as I'm doing this color loop, we have 5 of the A19s right here going through color loops. Another A19 in this lamp, which I find really interesting because this lamp was downstairs throughout like my entire childhood and it was so boring with incandescent light bulbs. And I really liked it when I was younger, so I moved it into my room. And now it has a Hue bulb, which is just kind of weird to see it like this. The bloom is, of course, up there. The iris is over there. And the desk lamp is down there, which kind of just lights up the floor in a cool way. I might move that around. The color loop and everything, it will definitely look cool with the Corsair RGB keyboard. Alright, so now I'm about to go to school. It is completely the next day. All of the Hue lights are working fine. Just do a little quick test with this. But yeah, it works. Thank you for watching my vlog about Philips Hue. It does appear to be really cool. I'm going to be setting up some gift